Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. Still feeling rotten like yesterday. Not sure what's up. But, you know, opium. We get shit to do. Alright. Need to check something here. Okay, I need your reference. The reference. Where are you, reference? Here, somewhere. Please go easy. Please go easy. Oh, please help. Please go easy. Go easy on me.
Leave the world around us. They don't need to know. Come find me where the sun sets and say you'll never let me go. You're the one I want. Say you need me. Hide away our love. Don't let go. I know you feel the same. Say you need me. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love. Broken love.
I wonder if the slime puddles. Some Legrino going on here. Not very fond of that. Not sure what's going on. It's running and eating up all of the RAM.
I try to pray for you, even when it's nothing. You always make up
Something. Something needs to die. I don't think it's anything, but maybe it's VTube Studio? I mean, I could always restart the bitch. I'm getting lag spikes. I'm not very fond of lag spikes. It pisses me off. VTube Studio. So out of sorts today. I am out of sorts. Out of all sorts. Out of other sorts. All the flavored sorts. Booba. Make that go down there. Hey, you piece of shit. You gonna keep lag spiking on me? Am I gonna be really annoyed by this? Why does it say that I have 2 copies of Chrome open? Because I fucking do not. Hey, Iliatan.
Pero voy a draw the line. Que yo ya sé que de ti I got to stay away, got to stay away. Sé que como un trofeo quieres tenerme, pero I don't need no one. Que yo ya sé que de ti I got to stay away, got to stay away. No, 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 baby, no, 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 no setbacks. No, 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 baby, no, 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 this time. You broke my heart once again. I won't buy the dust in return. I can't give it, I can't give it, I won't give in this time. You broke my heart once again. Well, you bad, but you bad it for me. I can't give in, I can't give in. We alive, are we running circles, running around? Break down, chase the light, we're all in but on the go. Running for my life. Feel the light. Running for my life. Running for my life. Running, I am running for my life. Head high, we alone, are we taking all in front of us? Head high, how could we know it was all along on the side? We should read between the lines, and we're on the right way to go. Head high, we're not alone, oh, we are not out of luck. Running for my life. Feel the light. Running for my life. Running for my life. Running, I am running for my life. Running wild, I'm running for my life.
Hold your breath and hold me tight. I'm messing with your mind. My eyes are sharp like your blade. I drive your mind insane. Drive your mind insane. Drive your mind insane.
This needs to be renamed. Time to make layers! 400 million layers. Let's go. Just realized something.
Oh man, you need some headphones, bro.
You know I said just.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The slime puddle mentioned that. Let us.
Oh man, you need some headphones, bro.
You know I said just. You know I said just. You know I said just. You know I said just.
Oh man, you need some headphones, bro.
You know I said just. You know I said just.
Down. There we go. There we go. Much better. Don't you worry about you. Need to block you again, and then we need to. Okay.
We're online, ready to fire away. A digital breeze from cybernet seas. We may not make it out of the bay. Just unwind, it doesn't matter.
It isn't the autosave that's doing that. Wish it would fucking stop, whatever it is.
Throw away the keys. The predator is now the prey.
Things could be different. Things could be alright. Could be innocent. Don't you think we're alright, ready to fire away.
Powered by a dream, connected to a screen. The rebels in 4K.
Too far away, too far. Too far away, too far away. Too far away, too far away. Too far away, too far away. Ready to far away. Digital seeds, seeds.
When dark becomes light, we're online.
We need for sideline size. Control shift new, yes. Run, 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 run away. Run, run, running after, running after. What's the next one? Pray on. Pray. Pray on. Pray, pray, pray for pray on. Pray for your voice. Pray, 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 pray for. The only part I have to be careful is outside. Inside is fine. What's up? I'm so blurry today.
Is this what giving up feels like? I don't know.
I don't know
Tell me, have I lost my mind?
where to go.
So
I
far from home. Is this what giving up feels like?
don't know. I don't know.
Tell me, have I lost my mind? So I
So I
break
break
these walls
these
and hold
walls.
my head up high. And I stand my ground until the day I die. As the rain falls down, there's no more tears to cry, tears to cry. So I break these walls and hold my head up high. No, I'm not giving in. No, I'm not giving in.
I'll be rolling, I look it like this. In science, cause I'm a whiz kid. Fire, oh yeah. Just the galaxy up in this. I'll be rolling, I like it like this. A fucking science, cause I'm a whiz kid. It's fire, oh yeah. Just the galaxy up in this. I'll be rolling, I like it like this. Fucking science, cause I'm a whiz kid. Right now, I'm on the line now. I'll be rolling, I like it like this. In science, cause I'm a whiz kid. Fire, oh yeah. Just the galaxy up in this. I'll be rolling, I like it like this. In science, cause I'm a whiz kid. It's fire, oh yeah. Just in this. I be rolling like this. I be rolling like this. I be rolling like this. Then I like it like this. I be rolling like this. I be rolling like this. I'm out. I'm on the this love. In science, cause I'm a whiz kid. It's fire. Don't forget to get up in this. I'll be rolling, I like it like this. In science, cause I'm a whiz kid. It's fire, yeah. Don't forget to get up in this. I was watching this video where someone was trying the concept of male loneliness epidemic. Now, the thing is, I understand that there is a non-subtle thing that is true about masculine experience, where men are forbidden from coding, they're forbidden from feeling weak, they're forbidden from showing any weakness, or being vulnerable with each other, or hugging or touching each other in casual ways without being perceived as effeminate, gay, or not masculine enough. And all those things are fucking terrible, and those are all true problems that are real for men. Cis men especially, but men in general. But the issue is that it's been co-opted, just like so many other fucking things, by people with nothing good to say, who have taken the issues of life sucks when you are forbidden from, you know, showing emotions other than anger, and instead of laying it at the feet of the patriarchy, which is the problem, laid at the feet of women instead, because why not blame the people who would really like those things to change for you? And like, people just don't seem to understand that when your concepts, ideas have been overtaken by a second party that is louder than you and more driven to be vocal and be terrible, therefore notorious, to be more notorious than you are, your concerns get completely leveled out of existence, and they only focus on the people who are being the most controversial. And someone was like, you know, I'm tired of people not understanding the male loneliness epidemic is actually a problem. And I'm like, yeah, but the issue is that concept, the male loneliness epidemic, has long since been taken over by misogynists and people who don't actually want to fix the problem, they just want to blame it on somebody else. Specifically, people who aren't going to fix the problem for you, because it's a problem between men. It's not a problem with women. Like, women can't fix the fact that you feel touch-starved and lonely because your homies won't even give you a high five, lest the physical contact between your skin somehow transfers the gay cooties that will turn you into a gay man. That isn't a problem between women and men. That's a problem between men and other men. Right? Like, we can understand that women can't fulfill your need to have contact with other men without it getting weird. Women can't fix that for you. It's definitely between men, but there's a problem there. Because women can get away with a little more touchy-feely between each other. They can hug each other more. They can, touch each other's hair when they're friends. Like when I'm talking with like people who are already close. But men can't. Men are forbidden from, and it's a real big problem. And self-sufficiency too. The toxic self-sufficiency where not only are you not allowed to emote to anybody or share your feelings with anybody, but also that there's an upholding of the solo male who is an island. Even though literally the phrase goes, no man is an island. And it's only gotten more toxic over time, because, when we talk about people who are nostalgic for the old days, when the old days are the 1950s and they weren't that great, at least men back then used to give each other bear hugs. They used to slap each other on the back, sort of, grab each other's shoulders and be like, yeah, man! But now you can't even do those things either. Like, there's literally nothing you're allowed to do. And all of those things fucking suck. But you can't take that up with women, because it's a problem between men. I've seen it. Well, I should say, I have seen the whole concept of a guy slapped another guy on the back during it wasn't football, it was a different sport. And everybody kind of went, ew, gay, at the two of them, and, both of them backed off, no. So I've seen it, and that was as recently as the 90s, so I can definitely say I've seen homophobia rear its ugly head in the midst of men being men and forbidding two teenagers in this case, from touching each other, because for fear of potentially maybe that being too gay to, for them to continue grasping onto their own masculinity. Some might be, but it was a couple of kids that yelled at them, so it's enough that it ends up just kind of recursing, where also because we're more and more nowadays, like, distant from each other, and for people who really desperately need contact with other people, i.e. extroverts, people who are touchy-feely people, we are online more, we are staying at home more, because, well, to be fair, nobody's got any goddamn money, so it's not like you can go out to, pool hall or something and do stuff, because it's just expensive as shit. So you kind of brood even more, because you've got even less contact with other human beings. But again, it's just one of these things where all of these things are true, but you know what? We call men who call this shit out and point the blame at society the way... Those are feminists. Because feminism isn't about women are better than men. It's literally men and women are both being hurt by this concept that men have to be rough and tumble assholes and women have to be soft, gentle, giving individuals. It both are bad things, and feminism says, fuck that shit. There's nothing wrong with what you ascribe to be female. what you're ascribing to be female is literally just human. Like, it's just human stuff. It's human shit. All humans crave contact. All humans want to feel safe with other people. All humans want to be vulnerable with other people without, you know, being accused of something. Yep. One thing that I've noticed though, and I recognize now that it's just a sign of being old. I'm old, right? Old. Not as old as some people, but still old. I was watching Hell of a Boss, which is a show that's definitely aimed at adults, like people who are over 30, really. But of course, that doesn't stop teenagers from watching the show. And there's, spoiler alert, but I know probably nobody's watching the show. There's a character, female character, has a husband. The two of them have been together since the beginning of the show. They love each other desperately. It's a really positive version of like watching two, like a male and a female character have a positive married relationship. They're both vulnerable with each other, they both love each other, they both support each other through fucking everything, and so on and so forth. In the most recent episode, the female character immediately was showing signs that I was like, oh, that bitch pregnant, because she was like throwing up and being incredibly testy and being like, I don't know what's gotten into me today, sort of thing. And it dawns on her that, yeah, maybe this is going on. And she takes a pregnancy test, finds out she's pregnant, and calls her sister and basically says, I don't know what I'm gonna tell my husband, to her sister. And she looks absolutely crushed and devastated. And everyone who is, I assume, under the age of probably 20 is going, oh my god, I can't believe she did! And I'm just like, no. Well, she and her husband work at the same job. They're assassins. It's literally an incredibly physical job. And if she can't perform her job, that's less money coming in. That and their job is kinda on the DL, like it's a little sussy. They're assassins. They're doing assassin things. They are kind of barely above board for where they live, which is hell, but they're barely above board. They could lose their jobs at any time. So, between not enough money coming in, her not being able to do her job, and the fact that they almost got themselves thrown in jail, like, that very episode, but earlier in the episode, I guess it was the episode before, for just doing their jobs. It's one of those things where it's not a good time to have a kid. And because her husband loves and supports her and is also a giant cuddle bug, it's very, very likely that he would be like, oh yeah, let's keep it no matter what. And her being like, I don't know if I want to, because this isn't the right time. This is unplanned. This isn't us trying for a kid. It's literally, oops, I'm pregnant sort of thing. And it's one of those things where I'm just like, being pregnant and having a kid is a lot bigger than, yay, I got pregnant, or, oh no, I got pregnant, and the only reason why I would say, oh no, is because I cheated. Especially when the fucking main character, she is so fucking loyal to him that, like, if anybody even stares at her the wrong way, she usually puts them through a wall. As violently as possible. But we're gonna say that she cheated? With who? When did she have time? She's always busy. Like, what? But it's just this maddening thing where I'm just like, the other thing is we don't know whether or not she can stay pregnant. We don't know whether or not there's fertility problems in her family. We don't know whether or not she's been pregnant before and she's had miscarriages before. All these things are major factors that go into potential pregnancy issues. The thing is, these are just things you don't know about because they don't teach you about pregnancy and all of the complications, on all of the risk factors, and all of the problems that can arise, and the fact that you may be permanently, like, infertile or disabled, or you could lose your life when it comes to going through and actually having a child. Right? Right? Millie cheating is just like the last fucking thing that would ever happen in that show ever. And it's just like, I was so furious when I was reading this, like, you're really self-assured about this. You really truly believe that Millie would ever in a million fucking years ever cheat on Moxie. Are you insane? Fuck you. Like,
Whose balloon is this? It's mine. Oh, Penny, can you pass on the witch aboard for me? You sure? I am Belle. Can't you tell? You will meet my haunted friends, or you will go to hell. Oh, by the way, have you met Chucky yet?
Yo, what's up, bro?
no, I can see it from the point of view of people who are raised perhaps in a very sort of sheltered way, where their idea of sex ed is if you have sex you have babies sort of thing, as opposed to, you know, having ever been through with a friend or been through themselves, where they actually discover the amount of things you were just not told about the risks of pregnancy or the dangers thereof. Because, like, when my sister went through it, she was bedridden for a good portion of it. She was laid up with being sick, and she needed to work. And then there's all the fucking weird shit like preeclampsia and infertility issues where, you know, you can't stay pregnant no matter what you do. Like, there's so many fucking horrible things that are just out there, just saying hello. Uh-huh. One of the cool things that happens that I think is pretty neat is lung capacity increases by 40%, and you don't lose it. It's one of the reasons why traditionally opera singers were always fat, because the only people who seemed to be able to do that kind of singing had a child, and the reason why is you have more lung capacity afterwards. Actually, I had a friend who had a blood disease, like a blood disorder, where she got pregnant, and she started experiencing, like, she would, like, if she cut herself, it wouldn't stop bleeding, like, it would never clot. And she went to the doctors. I was friends with her husband. She went to the doctors and said, like, I don't understand what's happening. Like, my blood will dry, but it doesn't clot properly anymore. I don't know. I never had this problem before. They did a test, and basically, when she got pregnant, she became hemophilic. Which meant that if she went through with her pregnancy, she might die. Because her body would not actually close off any of the blood vessels after she delivered. And, you know, that's just something that apparently can fucking happen. It's incredibly rare, but that doesn't mean that it's not something that they haven't observed before. But I can understand why she would go to her sister and not to her husband right away, because Moxie is a caring, loving individual who's also a little clueless, who would immediately just be like, I'm gonna be a dad, and her being like, I would really rather you didn't, would break his fucking heart, because that's just how he is, and that's just who she is. And it's just... there's more to life than just, you know, or married life than just, yay, I'm pregnant. Serious, though. I've had so many friends go through so many trials and fucking bullshit in their lives, and I've just seen it so many fucking times and in so many different fucking ways, where I'm just like, yeah, there's plenty of reason why if you get pregnant, if I got pregnant, I would be like, I don't know where that would happen though, but, you know, if I got pregnant, I'd be like, well, that's, I can't do this. I mean, I never had the option to take a fucking ethics class. Probably would have been good for my generation to actually, you know, pick up on some of that. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna do that. Yeah, our requirements for our diploma was... English, what was it? Because I remember it's 6 subjects. English, math, science, one language, one home ec. I say home ec, but it was like any tech class or any home ec class. There was one more requirement. I don't think art was one of them. Most high schools only offered like one art course, and it wasn't max level. History was the other one. You need to have a max level of each of those. So my home ec class slash I could have done woodworking or you know, repairing stuff, but I already knew how to do that shit because my dad is a giant reno nerd. So what I took instead was we took a sewing class. And as it turns out, sewing with a sewing machine is really fucking easy. I ended up selling my sewing machine because, to be fair, we needed the money, but I saved up and got one for, a reasonable amount. So I was, to be fair, working at Walmart at the time, so it was fairly simple to get 50% off. Wow, for 4 years too? Like, you have to do 4 years in order to get your diploma? It isn't credit by credit? That really sucks. Because, like, when I say math, I didn't take math, I took computer science, because, to be fair, I was much better at programming than I ever was at doing the addition and subtraction and exponents and all that shit. So I was allowed to take computer science instead, which I'm much better at, which was a fucking mercy, because, yeah, it wasn't gonna go well otherwise. But we had no religious courses at all, except for, like, I think there was, like, a history of religion, but I just took, I took art history, because there was an actual art history course. I was like, oh, I'll take that instead. Fuck learning about whatever random history. We had to take history the whole way through. Like, we had to have 1 year each, but, like, the max level credits were the ones that were most important. Back then they were called OACs, which are Ontario Academic Credits. Basically, it was like a grade 13, like an advanced course for each of those. You had to have a certain amount of those. And fun fact, my language wasn't French. It's set up so that it should be French, but in my case it was not French. I took Latin instead. Because they offered Latin, and I was like, hell yeah. I took Latin for 3 years in high school. Such a waste of my fucking time. But the problem with French was, when I was in, elementary school, again, this is sort of like one of these things where the curriculum kept changing, but we moved a lot, and every time we'd move, curriculum would be kind of different from area to area. It wasn't province-wide, it was region by region. So, like, the only people who really learned French when I was a little kid were people who were in specifically something called French immersion, which was all your classes are taught in French. And then I went to one school where we were to learn French, but everybody in that school had been doing French for 3 years. So I was really far behind and never really picked up on it. And then the next school I went to didn't do French at all, again. And it was like, oh, okay, so I guess it's really not that important. So, like, my ability to acquire that language just kind of went out the window. Oh, that's kind of cool. Latin is very useful for reading other languages, because Latin's a dead language, but the rules of Latin, which are pretty set in stone, that's the merciful thing about it, is if you see something, you can basically tell what part of the word it is, where it's going to be located, and what it means, which is so much better than French and way better than English when it comes to, like, you've got a word in front of you. You're like, oh, it ends in US. I know this is a masculine word. I know how this will decline. I know every way of, like, turning that word into any part of a sentence because it has US at the end. Like, done! Done! It's so nice! I mean, that's true. But, like, in Canada, if you want a government... Well, sorry. Yeah, no, that's the easiest way to put it. If you want a job that has anything to do with the public, like a public utility of any flavor, you have to speak French with at least a certain amount of fluency, which I don't have. Because we moved too much, and by the time I actually hit a school that I stayed at for any real length of time, French was presumed to have been learned for at least 10 years before that. Like, when I finally got to high school and went to high school, I looked at what they were going to learn in French, and I was like, this is way over my head. Like, I need beginner courses, because I never learned French before this. And their response was, we don't offer a beginner course in French. You should have been taking it for... I'm like, well, you know what? Some of us moved around. And before the province put its foot down about when French should start being taught... yeah, no, I went to a bunch of schools where the school did not have French teachers. I've done that with people from, I knew a guy who spoke Brazilian Portuguese. So I spoke in Latin to him, and he looked so confused, and then he spoke to me in Portuguese really slowly. And we were both kind of like, he was sort of like, what language are you speaking? I'm just like, Latin. And he's like, Latin? I'm like, yeah, Latin. Romance languages are fairly easy to navigate if you speak Latin, especially reading them, because everything in Romance languages is based in Latin. Everything is, except for, well, like, Portuguese and Spanish have some loan words from, like, Arabic, but not as many as you'd think. I'm a language nerd! Okay, so I needed at least 2 more layers for this? Yes. 2 more layers. Name this, and then I need 2. Arm, front, lid. Arm. Alright. I'm very, very fluffy brained today, so if I'm switching topics rapidly, it's literally I'm just trying to say anything at all. I feel like maybe I need some carbs or something, because, I mean... Alternatively, like, one of the meds that I need, well, one of the meds that I take, I don't necessarily need it. I haven't taken it in, like, because I ran out. I tapered myself because I know that I should fucking do that no matter what fucking med it is. But it's just gonna be a while before I get it back again. And it's mostly just, again, a matter of getting to the place and picking it up is a timing matter. But regardless, my brain is fluffy and I don't have any brain cells left. I actually took a lot of languages in university. I took Latin. And then I took Old English and Middle English and German. German I did not do well in. And the reason why I didn't do well in German, even though Old English is basically German, is my prof did not speak English or German extremely well. And because she insisted on speaking in German the entire time, but also she muttered, and also she had a thick dual accent, so her first language was somewhere I think in like India, and she moved to Britain as a child and learned English with a thick British accent. And then she moved to Germany and learned German. So she's speaking with like 2 different accents on top of a language I don't understand. And she mumbled. Like, I couldn't even read her lips because she would always talk down into her chest. Like, so there were a number of conflicts that happened back in the day in Yugoslavia, back when it was Yugoslavia. Or Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia, almost said the wrong thing. Back when it was that. Instead of it being the Czech Republic and I don't know what the other one became. But yeah, there was a massive conflict. Big fighty boom badness happening there. Why did I make another layer here? I don't know. Deleted. And we took in refugees in our area, which would have been fine, except we took in refugees from both sides of the conflict. Which, you know, you'd think that wouldn't be a problem. And it really wasn't, because the adults were, you know, fleeing from violence. They weren't interested. But they're fucking kids! I have literally like gone to go to the bathroom like in high school. Gone to go to the bathroom. Saw some kids. They're just staring each other down. Just staring each other down. And I'm like, this is like before the era of hall monitoring. They're staring each other down. And just one of them turns to, because I'm walking, and he looks at me and he's just like, get out of the hall. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna question this. Yeah, some kid got stabbed like 5 minutes after that. I was called in because they were like, you know, we have record that you were out in the hallway during this time. Just like, they told me to leave, so I left. And they're like, okay, that's fair enough. Czechoslovakia became the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Yeah, okay. So we had the Slovaks and the Czechs in our school together as kids, and they absolutely, and they didn't, like, it wasn't like beating each other up, they stabbed each other. Like, there was blood all over the hallway level of stupid. Like, did a bunch of them get expelled? Yes, they fucking did. Is it really the region's fault, though, for deciding to put them all in the same fucking school when there was a bazillion schools in the area? Yes. You can't expect them to not necessarily take it out on each other that they have all these stressors, and they literally know that the kids who are walking down the hall over there are from the other side of the conflict. Like, I can only get mad at the adults in this situation, at the poor kids who are just, you know, in incredible stress because they've been through so many upheavals in their lives. Other than that, they're actually really cool kids. I had a really brilliant. Oh my god, I had a really brilliant kid in my computer science class. It was from one or the other country, and his name was Muris, which I liked because he was a computer nerd, and Muris means mouse in Latin. It probably doesn't mean that in Czech. Do 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 do. I'm so woozy. I'm so woozy.
Something about you feels so different.
Fortunately, this is just coloring in. Coloring in is pretty straightforward. I don't have to do a lot of thinky for that. My brain does not do the thinky right now, and not one teeny tiny bit. It don't want to do shit.
It feels like every part of me is dying.
Yeah.
You're gone without a trace. You left me where no one can find me. There's no sign of life out here. I scream and it goes silent. I fight so hard, but I can't find my way out. Lost all dimension and time. I think I'm losing my mind. And this goes down.
I'm trying really hard not to be anxious about the orange dumbass deciding that it's really funny to quote-unquote joke about taking over Canada. Because I don't want World War III to start, because I don't think he understands what the Commonwealth is or what that would do.
Every message that I send you, you just leave them all red. Now every part of me is hurting, cross my heart. I don't deserve this. Loved you just for you to haunt me in the end. Yeah, you're gone without a trace. You left me where no one can find me. There's no sign of life out here. I scream and it goes silent. I fight so hard, but I can't find my way out. Lost all dimension and time. I think I'm losing my mind. And this goes down. And this goes down. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind.
Yes, I have! Oh my fucking god, that fucking tool. He purchased an account off of someone. If you're unaware of what happened with fucking Elmo. Elmo decided to purchase an account off of someone who had gotten their tune-up on I assume hardcore. So Elmo got the tune and then was trying to play it a little bit on a stream, and he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how the game worked. He didn't know how any of the buttons worked. He didn't know what his major skills were or what he had picked. But you know, he definitely leveled that tune by himself. Oh, he's just the bestest player in the world, Fucking dumbass. I mean, if it would be funny if it weren't so fucking sad. Yes, and then he died. Oh, I didn't hear that he died. I just heard about people complaining about the fact that he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, but he actually killed himself on hardcore. What a fucking, oh my god. I guess you could just buy another account from another hardcore player. Feel bad to the person who actually did all that fucking work, though. Because getting to max level on hardcore is not easy, especially considering the game's all new and shit. Like, it's all new. There's no guides. There's no recommended ways to do it. I doubt he, no, it would be more along the lines of someone just sold their Poe account and or Elon, like, went on the server and posted, you know, like found who was highest, because you can see the leaderboards, and messaged everybody on the leaderboards and said, I'll pay you a certain amount of money for your account, and someone did, because, I mean, not like that asshole can't give somebody life-changing amounts of money. Because again, if it was Pro 1, that'd be something, because like, an intern could follow a guide, but any account that's max level on hardcore right now, God there itself, because there's nothing you can study to make good decisions. You can just rip or not rip. Like, I may have to actually separate these. I wasn't gonna, but I think I need to.
Artificial love, we just make it up, 'cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. 'Cause we already know, addicted to the rush. I never meant to fall. All I wanted was a touch of artificial love. We just make it up, 'cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. Artificial love. Artificial love. Artificial love, we just make it up, 'cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. 'Cause we already lost, addicted to the rush. I never meant to fall. All I wanted was a touch. 'Cause we already lost, addicted to the rush. I never meant to fall. All I wanted was a touch. Artificial love. Artificial love. Artificial love, we just make it up, 'cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. How can you know what's in our mind? When in between the good and bad is such a thin line. How can you know what's in our heart? When often hate motivates and love tears you apart. Artificial love. Artificial love. Artificial love, we just make it up, 'cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. Artificial love. Artificial love. Artificial love.
special love.
Warning.
Neo detected.
Warning.
Neo detected.
Oh goodness, oh god, ow.
Warning, get ready to evacuate. Warning, get ready to evacuate.
Music.
Entombed in my mind, can't seem to break
Break
away.
away.
Lost in
Lost
time, thinking about better days. Do you
in
ever
the
used to pay?
day.
'Cause I don't know if I can do this again. Now you got me
I'm
wondering
wondering why
why you let me die alone inside.
I
I
died.
for you,
I cried for you. I tried for you. Tell me why you left me pale. Died for you. I cried for you. I Hey, yeah. I was actually gonna separate. I'm not gonna do that one's fine to leave as an unseparate. Then this. And I just don't face me. Why you let me down inside? I cried for you. I tried for you. Tell me why you left me bleeding. I died for you. I cried for you. I tried for you. Tell me why you left me bleeding. Oh, I cried for you. I tried for you. Tell me why you left me bleeding. Everybody have go far out. Everybody have a take it out. Take it or leave it out. It got me thinking now, and I'm stuck in this loop again. It got me thinking now, should I take it or leave it out? What would happen if I talk to you? Got a feeling that I get a blue. Would you be my fortnight? What would happen if I talk to you? No, we're not well either. Hopefully, better soon.
I don't know why you left me bleeding. Where's Broken heart, tell me if I deserve this feeling. I thought that you know that we had something special.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
End up all this way. Please tell me when you left me bleeding. With a broken heart, tell me why I deserve this feeling. I thought that you loved me. I thought that you need me till you end up all this way. Have you forgot all the moments while we had was so true? This world was made for two. I did it Feelings change and love can go, but tell me why are you so cold? What did I wrong? What was the fault? Or what you say is I don't know. Feelings change and love can go, but tell me why are you so cold? What did I wrong? What was the fault? I thought that you loved me. I thought that you need me till you end up all this way. Have you forgot all the moments while we had was so true? This world was made for two.
All access when I walk in the club, but only if I've been a guest listed. All access when I walk in the club, but only if I've been a guest listed. Walk in the club, walk in the club, walk in the club, walk in the club.
Yeah, if you use VTube Studio, there's a bunch of presets These are by Cat Mech Boy. The blanket and the...
All access when I walk in the club. All access when I walk in the club.
Okay. Still got some coloring in to do, but we're getting... Well, thank you for the lurk waffles. I'm actually gonna go, because I have been feeling like trash. I assume that... I mean... I wish sugar was more readily available at my household. It just isn't. Sorry, I'm blah today. I'm blah today. That's what I am. I am blah. I need some carbs and or sugar. I'm pretty sure I am just dealing with low blood sugar, but I mean, I'll figure it out. It's one of these things where it's just like, oh, you know, I can get some sugar, but we don't have any sugar right now. We have this fucking sweetener. Sweetener isn't going to fix the problem. I will locate some. Ratings, that's right. I'm gonna do a refresh and then we're gonna raid out. We'll be back around 10 p.m. EST. Ideally, I will be less fluffy then. I don't know if I... Words bad, but heading off. You guys are awesome. We love you so much. Y'all take care of yourselves. I find someone who isn't been streaming too long. You guys get to watch some fun stuff. Ooh. Fluffy brain. Oh hey, Liz hasn't been streaming too much. So we're gonna head over to Liz. Liz is playing some 7 Days to Die. And we're gonna head over to Liz, and we will see you guys later. You all take care of yourselves, and all have a good night. Bye now.